Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Thank you so much for watching, you awesome people. I want to give a shout out to my international community. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You really make the difference for us. A special thanks to Australia, to our Aussies, for your great comments in the videos and the lives. And also, I would like to give a special thanks and a shout of love to Hungary and all of our Slavic countries. All right, we love you too. Now listen, I posted all of the links for the donations, the ones that I know are legit for the Idaho 4 victims' families. Since Brian Kohlberger waived his right to a speedy trial, this saga is going to drag on and the families can use more money. That's just a fact. And so if you have an extra 5 or 10 here or there, all of the links are in the community tab. Just drop some money in and collectively we'll make a difference. All right. Shocked and appalled, Kohlberger waived his right to a speedy trial. That video has been members only for 3 days. I want you to know that it's made public now. You can watch it. So make sure you stop by and check that out today. And speaking of being a member, if you haven't joined yet, make sure you do so. You can get in the door. You can get in the game for all these benefits starting at $2.99 a month. I mean, come on. That's the deal of the century. All right. So yesterday, I, I ran out of time in the article about the alumni, the fraternity alumni, and I was going to pick back up there, but I decided to just move on to the next article. And this is where we're going to start right now. All right. So grab that coffee, a nice cup of hot green tea as we begin our story. This article was published in 2018. University of Idaho fraternity shut down. Let's see. The Idaho Alpha chapter of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity at the University of Idaho closed its doors Tuesday after an investigation by its national organization determined the chapter failed to uphold the national guidelines. Health violations and safety concerns were also cited. U of I learned of the national group's investigation after a cease and desist order was issued by the national fraternity in December. So this was a national mandate first. So it seems like the University of Idaho really didn't have a choice. All right, in December, the same month, an alcohol moratorium was placed on UI fraternities and sororities. So we have a national investigation of one fraternity, and then there's a more alcohol moratorium on all University of Idaho fraternities and sororities. I mean, that's a lot. All right. At the time, University of Idaho was unaware of the nature of allegations, according to a news release. I want to skip down here. All right. It says members of the fraternity who live in the chapter facility were notified Tuesday that they will need to find another place to live by Sunday. Freshmen who reside in the house will move into campus housing since the university requires freshmen to live on campus. According to the closure agreement, UI will work with the fraternity's national office to reopen the chapter in August 2022. Certain conditions will have to be met, including an alcohol-free chapter facility and the presence of a live-in advisor. So it was supposed to open in August 2022. This is right around the time when everybody from Idaho 4, Brian Kohlberger, and everybody came to school. So we're going to look at it from that viewpoint also. Okay, this next theory is very hard. It's very hard to swallow. Okay, so some of you may want to hit the pause button or check out right here. Okay, if the Idaho 4 murders were planned and committed by a frat, okay, then that would explain Ethan's death. Because if the Sigma Chi, I know it's Chi, but I like to say Chi, if Sigma Chi was behind it, there's no way they could plan a snuff film or whatever the motive was with Xana included and not include Ethan. There's no way. And so the fact that Xana is a part of the Idaho 4, and Ethan, the only male, is included. It could be because Xana was included. And so there's no way Ethan would have been walking around holding a secret that the frat, planned and executed a snuff film, or they had some party with drugs and alcohol and something happened even by accident. And they had to make it look like, a mass murder or whatever happened. If Xana uh, lost her life, there's no way in the world Ethan would cooperate or keep the secret. That's what happened. So that's the theory. The problem with this theory is it is super evil. It would mean that the fraternity sacrificed one of their own in addition to everything else. And maybe, every once in a while they have to do that. I mean, I told you it was rough. I warned you. So don't clutch your pearls and run to the comment section, to cuss me out because I warned you. Listen, maybe they had to sacrifice. Maybe some of these, you know, quote unquote social private clubs, maybe they have to sacrifice one of their own every once in a while. Just remain powerful. All right, we just talking theory here. Okay, take a deep breath. I'm just saying, if the frat was behind it and Ethan was a victim, and they intended to kill Ethan, whoever did it, and I proved that in one of my videos. I'm going to find it and use it as a throwback. They meant he wasn't just there as a casualty or you know collateral damage. They meant to go in Xana's room and take the lives of both Ethan and Xana. Whoever did it knew Ethan was there. His vehicle was out front. He was there all the time. And it's not hard to see who's going in and out of that house. Anybody, set up down the street could see him go in or walk across the field from the frat house to the 1122 King Road. It's not a big secret. All right, so this is what I want to talk about. In this case, the crime scene answers some vital questions in ways that are pretty much undeniable. Okay, in part one, we talked about how coming through the second floor sliding glass door would place us in the kitchen and that we would be facing Dylan's bedroom door. Okay, the footsteps show the direction from the sliding glass door, and this is what we would see. Okay, then we moved on to where the killer would be coming from the third floor down the stairs, and we were able to establish that not only did he have to pass Dylan's room on the way up to the third floor, but he had to pass her room door again to go to Ethan and Xana's room. Okay, at this point, the killer could have just come down the stairs, take a left, and leave right out of the sliding glass door he came in. But that's not what he did. Assuming there's only one killer, he had to pass Dylan's room again and go to Ethan and Xana's room. So at this point, I have to conclude that he came to kill all four of those kids. He could have left after he came downstairs from with Maddie and Kaylee, but he crossed Dylan's room and crossed the living room and went to Ethan and Xana's room next, according to the order of their deaths. So no one was targeted or stalked or whatever. He came with the intention of killing all four of those kids, and that's what he did. All right, we already know that Dylan was not able to see the intruder's face when he came down the stairs. We established that already in part one. And so the question remains, when the killer came from Ethan and Xana's room back towards Dylan's room to leave out of the sliding glass door, was she able to see his face? And so I did a reconstruction of that area. You can see the direction he came from. And I did a little silhouette here that's like right there at her door, to where he would have to make a right here to leave out of the kitchen. And to his left is Dylan's room. At this point, her door is cracked open, according to her account, and she is actually looking at the killer. Okay? And the question also comes up, is the light on in that hallway? Because if the light is on that hallway, she can see his eyebrows, but he can see her too. I mean, there's no way he passed that door 3 times. It was closed. According to her account, the first 2 times she opened it, she didn't see anybody. But the third time, when he's coming out of Ethan and Xana's room, the door is cracked open, and there's enough light for her to see him. And so at this point, looking at the photo, I mean, he can see that that door is open.